Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Free Practice 3 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here at Monday Race Club. Before we go into this evening's track activities, there's obviously a large piece of breaking news that has been out this afternoon, and that all at Monday Race Club do pay tribute to Sir Frank Williams. He really was a true racer. He embodied the passion, the ingenuity and the commitment within Formula One. He was a great mind, he was a great gentleman, and through what can only be described as immeasurable adversity, Sir Frank created an absolutely formidable team, and he was at all times a fearsome competitor. Obviously, we know that the Williams team and Williams Racing name will be etched in Formula One history for forevermore. It is a big fundamental part of the Formula One family. His loss is felt by all of us who love this sport, who watch this sport, and certainly well beyond. We do send our condolences to his family and all who knew and worked with him at this time. The passing today of a Formula One legend, which is Sir Frank Williams. And as we go through tonight's stream, we will touch more on the achievements of the great man himself. Sir Frank Williams, rest in peace. Welcome to the Baku city circuit here in Azerbaijan. We are here for Free Practice 3. As we approach Monday racing on both Monday and Wednesday evening. Joining me in the commentary box this evening, he has escaped the snow and the cold in Michigan. Ethan, good evening, sir. Obviously, you've managed to just get from Michigan to Azerbaijan and in a TARDIS, and it's now nice and warm in Azerbaijan. But how are you? Yeah, no problem at all. So tonight you get a Scotsman and an American folks in the commentary box, and what could possibly go wrong in the sentence for that. So as we were mentioning, we are at the Baku city circuit. It is a 3.73 mile circuit, just over 6 kilometres. It is the third longest circuit on the Formula One calendar after Spa-Francorchamps and the Jeddah Street Circuit, which the real-life F1 racers will be racing on this time next week. It's a track which has hosted 4 Grand Prix in the name of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, 2017, 18, 19 and 2021, but it did make its debut on the Formula One calendar in 2016 under the guise of the European Grand Prix. Many circuits have held that name, but certainly Baku City Circuit is one that we all love. Last week, folks, we had Monaco, which was interesting and which had a slight change to our format, but certainly a superb race on all 3 tiers was had. Ethan, I'm gonna throw the floor over to yourself first and foremost, just to give a quick intro into you. You're one of the new joiners who's obviously joined us here at Monday Race Club. We do have a few trial drivers out there as well, but I'll pass over to you to give a bit of an intro to yourself and your interest in F1 from across the pond in America. Yeah. Yep, I have indeed. Yeah, no, definitely. Do me a favour, Ethan, can you just check your settings, just because I think the folks on the stream can only hear me, so see if you go into the voice party that we're on, and just go on to, I think, settings. If you go to the right, the three dots, there should be one that says settings. And then there should be one to share your voice. We'll just share the link to. It's the wonders of technology, folks. Let's just post our race coverage.
There we go. They should be able to hear me now.
Cool. Let's just double check if those on the stream can let us hear or let us know if you can hear Ethan. I think they can hear me, which they will love. Let's just see. I think we can. Do you want to just do your introduction again, Ethan, and we'll see if we can hear.
Alrighty. So for me, I'm an American F1 fan from Michigan. I'm 18 years old, and I just love the sport for the closely contestant racing. I mean, and the strategies to go into the races that they have.
Yeah. No, definitely. And as we were saying, Ethan, joining us from Michigan. It's very snowy in Michigan. It's a bit like what it should be in Scotland, but it obviously isn't. Scotland is just wet, as opposed to the snowy that is Michigan. So we were saying, folks, we're obviously at Baku. We are in the free practice 3 session. It's very much a very fast circuit. We're just seeing fishers in the Mercedes there. Let's just bring up the various points. We will do a onboard lap as we go through, but MTO is the quickest man, 143.7. There we go. Fisher's just running wide there at the end of turn 3. Very easy to do, even just as they're coming down that second straight from turn 2 through to turn 3, and he's on the hard compound tyres. Very easy just to break a bit late. Yeah, exactly. I've done it a few times in practice, so we'll obviously follow that. There's a bit of a variety of strategy here, where we've got some drivers out on the hards and the mediums. We do have one driver out, Giban, at the moment on the softs.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's one driver that is on the softs down at 9th with a 145.7.
Yeah, good opening lap, and I think the big thing about the laps at the moment is to get those banker laps and to get comfortable. There'll be some drivers out there who are doing race tests. Yeah, exactly. And they'll be doing race performance. We can see a good battle between Ocean Tame here in the McLaren. One of our trial drivers this evening. We've got Lil Pachulin in the Ferrari also trialling tonight, and we've got Monster Gaza 420 also trialling, along with I think Resem 2021 in the Mercedes. So certainly a few trial drivers out there. Lots of different drivers who are racing in Season 5 of MRC, Tiers 1, 2 and 3 drivers. So just to remind you folks, for those who are new to MRC, we race on a Monday evening UK time. Tier 1 starts at 8:45 GMT, Tiers 2 starts at 7 PM GMT. And on Wednesday evenings we have Tier 3, which starts at 7:30 GMT. As we go through the next sort of 20 minutes, we'll see where we are. We then have qualifying, 18 minutes of qualifying, and then we have a 25% race, just to allow the drivers to dial in their strategies for the race. We've only got a matter of 24 hours to go, folks, before the Tier 1 and Tier 2 races. Just watching Snoop here go around that castle section for that. But certainly it's an interesting street circuit layout. You have to have, and Nathan, it's probably one of these things where there's a balance here between pure speed in terms of those two very long straights, but actually the downforce that's required to get the car through that tricky castle section and the kind of intricate parts of it. And it's going to be interesting to see what the drivers do those ones that go for outright speed and absolutely top of the speed charts, but actually then struggle through the castle section as well. It is a difficult circuit for those. It's not easy. We've obviously, in terms of the calendar this year, we've tested the drivers. We've given them Monaco and Baku back to back, which they all love us for. But as we can see, we've got Nick BT at the moment, 142.3, top of the charts at the moment on those mediums. GG second, 142.8, and then Aero Voice in the AlphaTauri at 143.3. A couple of people have obviously went on to the sort of hard compound in the pits after 3 or 4 laps, probably just getting their sighter laps in there. But let's jump on board. We're just watching Tom Brown just in the Alpine at the moment, our Tier 3 driver, in that Alpine coming into turn 1. Bit of a kind of split here in Baku in real life. 2 wins to Mercedes, 2 wins to Red Bull for the actual Azerbaijan Grand Prix. But obviously, Mercedes did take it in 2016 with Nico Rosberg. So let's pick on one of our drivers to take us round. We will jump on board with Monster in the Williams. It is only fair to be a Williams, as a mark of respect for the true man that is Sir Frank Williams. So Andrew now coming down that long pit straight, activates the DRS, hitting around about 195 miles an hour. 8th gear now dropping down into turn 1 here, getting the gears right, 3rd gear as we go into it, and then the blitz now as we come through to turn 2, around about 105 miles an hour, 3rd gear nicely rotated, and then the run down from turn 2 to turn 3, reaching about 330 kilometres an hour, roughly around about 195 miles an hour before he gets to just before the 100 metres mark, brakes, turns it now in, nicely done, hits the curve on the outside. As we come now into turn 4 and doesn't clip that apex, it's going to off-settle the car. Stringy B just letting him pass there, which is good. Now coming into turns 5 and 6, very easy to run too deep there, as we've seen from Andrew. As we now get that short sprint between turns 6 and 7, ultimately coming down to 2nd gear, about 50 miles an hour, nicely taken there. Coming now down into the castle section where the track narrows to around about 7 metres, which is not an overtaking opportunity, folks. Turns through 9, 10, 11 and 12 now, running down as we come down into 13 and 14, which are pretty much flat, really building the car up. 8th gear, around about 190, slamming on the anchors as we get about 75 metres. As we come down into 15, track drops away from us now as we come down into 16, 5th gear, 3rd gear on the apex, then floors it as we go through, and this is where he's looking to make up all that time. Very good sort of downforce setup that Andrew has on this Williams, nice and planted, perhaps lacking a little bit in top speed there compared to some of the competitors we might see this evening who maybe hit around about 205, 206 miles an hour. Does he have the ERS window activated? DRS, no he doesn't, but he comes across the line and does a 144.6. Yeah, nice. And this is the thing about the practice, and it's not all about lap times, but it does seem to have a good solid planted car there. It does certainly seem to have good downforce. He'll maybe look to play in some
more downforce for the corners and less for the speed for the straights. Is what it is.
He is indeed, and he might look to maybe over the next 24 hours look to see where he can get some more speed. Maybe take a bit of rear wing off or a bit of front wing. Certainly as we look through some of our other drivers, we just seem they're just running very deep, and this is the thing, we mentioned it in Monaco, but for those coming into the races here, obviously damage will be on and you're close to the barriers. And we've just seen an Alpine there just go round. It isn't Tom Brown, it must be Rob, it must be our Genie. He's went round at the top between 12 and 13, but it's going to be very easy for the drivers to potentially knock the sort of end plates off the front wing or lose front wings completely.
Mm-hmm.
So as we go through, we'll just keep an eye on the times and see a voice there coming out on the soft compound tyres in the AlphaTauri as he comes through the castle section. Got, as we said, a couple of our trial drivers tonight. Top one so far, Reese, 7th place, 144.0, good lap there, and a couple of McLarens there, and the Ferrari towards 14th, 15th and 16th. The key thing, as we always say, folks, is clean racing. People can be fast, and Monster there just saying he was running no DRS or ERS on his lap, so a good lap, I will say a great lap for the timing there, Ethan, for Andrews to be 10th, 144.2.
No DRS or no DRS,
Yeah, the DRS is certainly going to give him. I mean, we're just watching Aerovoice as he comes across the line here, and the DRS is giving him around about 7 to 8 miles an hour difference, probably up to about 10 now as he comes across the line, and he was using his ERS as he comes onto his flying lap on the soft compound tires. Let's just jump on board with him as he now comes into turn 2. Let's just concentrate as we go through his ERS deployment. Doesn't use it as if he's going down the second long straight here. Certainly hits around about 200 miles an hour before he brakes. Yes, exactly on the money. Nicely done there. Just avoided the curb on the inside. Let's make sure not clipping the curb too much there. He does slightly, but doesn't offset the car too much as he's coming through. Keeping an eye on his sector time. He's 3.5 tenths of a second up on his previous best. And as we now get that run down into turn 7, we can see there and see what sort of route he takes over that. It is a corner that you can take a bit more time. And here's the corner that could catch everyone out, the castle section. This is not I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here, folks. This is MRC. Castles are wanting to be avoided. And as he comes now down into turn 15, we will see where he is, and MTO goes quickest, 141.4. Aerovoice
on the mediums.
Yeah,
it's the 141s.
Good lap from him, and Aerovoice 1.2 seconds quicker at the end of sector 2, so he's certainly going to be jumping up, and he needs about another 8 tenths of a second to knock MTO off the top spot. And we'll see what he does as he comes down the long pit straight. Activates his DRS, utilising all of his ERS down to around about 22%. He's hitting 203 miles an hour, comes across the line 142.0. Yeah, 6 tenths behind MTO.
Very close.
It is. It is indeed.
Got two AlphaTauris sitting that are right behind each other. Very close, though.
Yeah, it is indeed. We've got that Haas at the top of the timesheets, which will be happy, and you can see there Nick BT almost pushing one of the Williams around coming into the castle section. It's going to be another good one, though, as we come into the race, that people are going to have to watch where they pass. There's obviously going to be a number of places that the drivers can pass, Ethan, in terms of like the long run down into turn 1. You've got then the long straight, or the straight between turn 2 and turn 3. But really, aside from that, there's nowhere else you can really look to attack without risking your front wing or damage or penalties.
Honestly, you don't want to risk it like Daniel Ricciardo and another driver did there back in the one race, if I remember.
Was this Danny Rick and Max Verstappen back in 2018, I think it was? Is it turn 1 in the Red Bulls? But yeah, they're going to have to watch it. They're not going to want to lose points and lose time because of unenforced errors. And
another turn in that is turn 1. And you don't want to do like Hamilton did this year by just braking late and going right by like he did at the restart of.
He did
after the one caution.
He did indeed. Let's jump on board. We'll jump on board with our newbies. Reese in the Mercedes, currently sitting 10th, 144.0. Currently, he's just got to watch a couple of clips of the wall there. But nice. Oh, and Morgan in front of the Aston Martin just ran too deep into 15 there, clipped the wall. And if you do that too many times in the race, you are going to lose your front wing, and it's going to cost you. And this is the other thing, the lap time around here is 1 minute 45 seconds, so in 105 seconds. And if you lose your front wing at any point in time, if it's early on in the lap, you are going to have a long crawl back to the pits. Just watching a bit of gamesmanship here. Morgan in the Aston Martin as we look back from the rear wing of Reese, and Reese goes into 8th, so a good run. Morgan decides, oh boys, keep it clean. No. We don't like to see accidents occurring on track. Yeah, as we say, folks, the big thing about MRC is keep it clean and don't collide with other drivers. Accidents do happen, yes, but let's not cause any dramas here. Unfortunately, just a bit of a collision there down into turn 1. But good showing from a couple of the trial drivers so far this evening, just building up their time. We obviously at the top of the show, folks, we did pay tribute to Sir Frank Williams. He was 79 years old. He was certainly one of the greatest team owners in history. He was a man that became an icon through his determination, ultimately more than anything else here. I think this was one of the key things for Sir Frank, was his determination. We're just having a look at a couple of drivers, Monster there in the Williams. Seems quite fitting. He first ran a team back in 1969, folks, and he set up Williams Grand Prix Engineering back in 1977. And that really launched him into 2 decades of success more than anything else. He was, as we all know, he was a quadriplegic. He broke his neck in a car accident in March 1986, but he came through months of rehabilitation and recovery, and he launched himself back into F1. And it was a sport that he loved with a passion that was matched by very few, and he went on to have some of his greatest achievements. There were 7 drivers' titles, 9 constructors' titles through the years of Mansell and Damon Hill, Jacques Villeneuve, and then towards the end of the 90s, the team fell back slightly. Then they rekindled some of their success of winning races with BMW. The team then did kind of slide back towards the end of the grid, but it was sold to an investment group in August 2020, and the family did step aside. But he didn't just love F1, he was consumed by it. His health did prevent his active participation in many races towards the end, but his life was utterly consumed. He brought through some great drivers. I think his breakthrough was getting his partnership with Patrick Head, and he got some great money in from the Middle East as well. But he certainly was a man who will never be forgotten, and over the next sort of 2 nights, tomorrow night and Wednesday night, MRC will talk more about the great man and also our tributes to him. What happens? I was going to say we've lost one of our McLarens. Monster Gaza has disappeared. Let's hope that that's just a connection issue more than anything else. Let's have a wee, just thinking about it, let's have a wee look at where we are. So yeah, actually quite a lot of the drivers now, you think, going for their sort of qualifying simulations, quite a few of them on the soft compound tyres now.
I was just getting ready to say that, yeah, a lot of them are on the softs now.
Still the man to beat, MTO, in that 141.4. Now the Fox River 8, he has got close, 141.6 on those mediums, and then Fisher's 141.7. But we're looking at Grimmel here in the Red Bull as he comes. He's gone into the pit lane, so he's done his lap. But G-Star, his fellow Red Bull competitor this evening, as he's coming through Sector 1. Quite a few of them pitting. We've got 6 minutes remaining of the practice session. 30 minutes on this Sunday evening here in the UK. Sunday afternoon in Michigan. Winter is upon us. It has snowed in Scotland overnight as well, so Ethan, just send more of it our way. I'd be quite happy. Most of us working from home at the moment still because of COVID. But certainly send us some more snow. Like the snow. F1 cars won't like to race in the snow, although I'm sure at some point Red Bull probably did. And we just seen there on the stream G-Star coming too quick into that infamous turn 8, 9, 10 complex and smashing it. No damage tonight, folks, in the practice session, but damage will be there towards the end, or on the actual races. Just keeping an eye on a few people. Genie just rejoined. Let's hope we connectivity issue. MTO, our front runner, has put the softs on. He is in the pits, but he has put the softs on. And Fishers goes top. Great lap there.
Made into the 140s.
Yeah, 140.9. That's a superb lap. Half a second clear from MTO. And probably around, I think he was a 141.7 before, so a good 0.8 of a second that he has gained. It's a bit like the cam before the storm. Everyone's just seeing where everybody else is. We're just watching Nick BT in the Alpha Tauri on his first lap, his first timed lap on the softs, as he comes down into 2. He's invalidated already. Oh, that's the other thing, Ethan. The track limits, and we do put strict track limits on for MRC, and it can catch people out.
Yeah, I was watching the stream for the race and qualifying last week, and a lot of people were getting their times deleted because of track limits. Yeah,
it's not, and this is the thing. It's sometimes just you put a wheel slightly over the curb or that, and you can, whether it's at the start of the lap, the end of the lap, and you can lose that time, and it's infuriating. Is what it is. But obviously, you can go again and go, motion team, they're just running too deep into 3, but survived. But yeah, track limits on this track. Probably turns 1, turn 1, this kind of part here, sort of turn 5 and 6, the castle section on the exit of 12 as well is where you're going to have to watch. So as we watch the McLaren come through the castle section, and maybe needs a little bit more downforce in that McLaren race cannon, maybe a bit too much speed. But the other point is just the turn that he's coming into here, the exit of this turn there, you have to watch, otherwise you're going to incur some time penalties there.
Might I say the monster in the Williams is on a faster lap right now. He was about a second up on his time.
He is indeed, 1.4 seconds. It will be, let's see if he's utilising the DRS and ERS this time. He's around about 80% ERS.
1.9.
Yeah, superb. Yeah, so that would certainly bump him up the timesheets to around about the early 142s, and that could bump him right up to 5th or 6th. As we watch through, he activates DRS, does he? He does indeed. He's utilising some of the ERS, and he comes across the line and goes 3rd. Superb lap, 141.5. Great time from Andrew there.
5/10 down from Fisher's time.
Yeah, but really good lap there. Again, you might have slightly different fuel loads as well to watch. So just watching Rob here in the Alpine as he comes through the castle section. It's so tight. 7. This is the thing. That was the one thing that I think we called out when we were on board earlier. But 7 meters the track width. Let's put it this way: if anybody tries to fake a pass at the castle section, just don't do it, folks.
It's a disaster.
Yep, you are not just going to potentially ruin your own race, but you might take someone else out as well. So.
That will definitely might bring out a safety car.
Yeah, well, that's actually for the point of Monaco. I'm just trying to think. I don't think we had any safety cars across the 3. Okay, we did have slightly reduced damage and a shorter lap time, but shorter race distance. Sorry, but we didn't have any safety cars in Monaco, from what I can recollect. But I think in Azerbaijan in season 4. We had in Tier 2, we had some rain towards the end of the race, which certainly brought some chaos to it, and a late safety car as well. And there we just joined the Fox River just at the end, 140.6, superb lap from him, and he's decided that is him for the session. He's done as much as he can, but a great lap. Just coming to the end of practice, folks. Fishers is going to certainly try and get his quick lap in. Let's jump on board with him.
We do have a Red Bull around in Sector 2 and Sector 1 in between. Right by the castle section.
Let's just see. Might have been G-Start. We'll keep an eye on his time. Just stay on board with Fisher's Camel. Ballboy goes top. 140.1 in the hash. Superb lap from him.
Some fast times being put up right at the end.
Yeah, people are deciding this is the qualifying simulation. It's time for the hot lap. Let's see where Fishers comes in all of that. There are some really quick drivers out there, folks. That's a great part about free practices in MRC, as we have all capabilities, tier 1s, 2, 3, and our reserve and trial drivers as well. So as we watch Fishers, as he's now into sector 2, he's got some traffic ahead which he wouldn't want to see. It might distract him slightly. As I said, just jumps over that little curve there at turn 7. Coming now into that sort of 8 here, then into 9 slightly, 10 and 11, and then 12. Keeps it nice and clean, keeps it on the rumble strip, doesn't invalidate his lap. He's got Air Voice in the AlphaTauri just in front of him here. We do have a yellow in sector 2, but it is behind us. Clear pretty quickly. Oh, is Air Voice going to get in his way? Oh, and remember, both these guys will be on fast laps, so there's not any blocking or anything intentional here. He is about half a second up.
Yeah.
So we just watch him. He'll be getting, I will say one thing though, he's going to get...
He's definitely getting the direct in that from Air Voice.
He is.
That is definitely helping him with the...
Yeah, so he's, we're seeing it now, 202, 203, 205, 6, 7 miles an hour, maxing out, and he goes across into second.
140.2.
Yeah, I just wonder if he could have, and on the exit of 15, I wonder if he could have just potentially got slowed down a little bit by Air Voice, but nothing that would have hurt him. Air Voice on a quick lap as well.
Yeah.
It took him to 6th.
Yeah, he had a 141.3 as well. So very close.
It is. As everything, folks, lots of different strategies will be taking place in practice. We do have qualifying that will be coming up just shortly. 18 minutes of qualifying. No knockouts this time. We did have knockouts, full qualifying in Monaco. Back to our normal fashion of 18 minutes of qualifying around this Azerbaijan street circuit. It is actually, funnily enough, you were talking about sort of like IndyCar and that sort of earlier on. It is very much a mixture of wide and open and tight and twisty, and it's that long main straight across the shoreline. And I think it often does look at times more like an IndyCar race than an F1 if you think about with IndyCar coming through the slipstream and everything. So it is certainly more like IndyCar than F1, but then it goes into that tight and twisty section. Some good lap times there, as we were saying. Couple of penalties in there, but we'll avoid them. We'll just say they didn't happen. The drivers will get it through their sort of qualifying side of things. But some good lap times up there, folks. Some good consistency. Some drivers focusing on race runs, like some Stringy B, Stub focusing on those mediums. I tried the mediums myself on Thursday practice and managed around about 15 laps on them before they started to probably lose a lot of their grip. But it's really going to possibly be more a two-stop strategy than a one-stop, although it is possible to do a one-stop. But I think the timing is around about the same. So it'll be interesting to see in the races who goes for what.
And we already had somebody leave the session. It says according to.
Oh, it's the infamous practice qualifying glitch here that we have, folks, whereby we for whatever reason we get this kind of glitch happening every so often. We'll just keep an eye on the Discord just to make sure we don't have any issues. Just keeping an eye on the Discord. So sometimes what happens is people come into the session and it can throw people out, so they leave and then they come back in just because they can't be in their cars. But so far it looks all good. So we'll just keep an eye out. And I want to thank Guy, our Tier 2 Championship leader, is joining us shortly. And there he is, as if he's just arrived. He heard us asking, and he is there. Lil Pichulin in the Ferrari, just on an outlap at the moment, on the soft compound tyres. Let's just see if anyone actually... Who's on the right lap? So Nick BT and Gene Genie are out on the mediums. Everyone else at the moment on the softs. If this was you, Ethan, and you were thinking, right, it's going to be a race where possibly a two-stopper will work, so maybe like a soft medium or a medium soft. Would you qualify on the softs, or would you try and maybe go?
I mean, I'd probably go softs and then go probably like a soft, medium, soft play.
Yep. And that's so sort of almost run longer in the middle section, maybe try and hope for a safety car, eke the tyre length, the grip out a bit longer, and then go for a soft run at the end where it's going to be light on fuel, tyre wear is not going to be necessarily a major issue, and claw back some of the time there. So let's just watch Lil Pichulin as they come across the line to start the qualifying lap. I think I'm kind of the same with you. I think I'd probably qualify in the mediums. Gives it a bit of a more... and he runs. Lil Pichulin runs wide into turn one. Hasn't invalidated the lap though, but certainly it's going to be a bit slower, shall we say. But it's all about consistency, as we keep saying, folks. Just building up. This might be sometimes the first time that people have raced in league sessions, so it's just taking it easy and watching as we go. But I would probably agree with you, Ethan. I think probably a two stops the right strategy around about Baku. I think when we were looking at the strategy on the Discord, the difference between a two stop and a one stop was negligible, and I'm talking like less than a second of overall race time. And I don't think anybody really wants to run those hard tyres in the race.
Especially at Baku, I mean, the tyres that seem to be not working for the people on the hards when they first went out during practice.
Yeah, we just seen Lil Pichulin there on the exit of 12, just spinning. Did do a reset to track. Reset to track isn't allowed in MRC rules, so it is a practice session, but make everyone aware we don't use reset to track. You can, obviously, if you spin, you need to take the time loss of the spin and recovery of that. A couple of yellows in sectors 2 and 3.
Here's going to be the first time set by it with a 140.1 by Camo.
Yeah, good lap. Good lap. Because what was it? I think we ended the practice was at a 140.9, was it? I think it was, or maybe 140.5. So certainly a great lap, and then Tom Brown 142.1 going in there, G-Star 141.6, and Gene Genie 142.0. So the first of our medium runners has gone into the 42s. There is definitely a big time differential between the soft and the medium tyres here, but I just wonder the soft tyres, how long they're actually going to go into the race. That would be my one worry, is the soft tyres. So crucial to get grip. Just watching the Fox River here as well. Let's just put on lap time. And the Fox River comes down now into 15. Nice little bit. You were talking earlier about track limits, Ethan, and the Fox River just at turn 15. Those what we'll call the sausage curbs, the elevated curbs, braked, jumped across them, and that's just going to send you into the barriers with no return. So he was lucky there, no damage as we were saying. But if that was in the race, you would lose a front wing and possibly the wheel. See what he does as he comes across the line. Good lap, 141.5. So top runner at the moment, Nick BT on the mediums, 141.1. So around about a second, 1.5 seconds difference between the softs and the mediums. And let's see, let's jump on board with O'Fatch in the Williams. Just about to start his fastest lap. Favourite F1 team, Ethan? What's your favourite team?
I gotta go with Williams, honestly.
There we go. There's a lot of Williams fans out there, a lot of F1 fans growing up in the late 90s. Williams, McLaren, and those who are younger.
I mean, guaranteed is an American team, or their team is from America. But
Yep.
I gotta give it to Williams. I mean, I'm always a person that's a fan of the team that's always the underdog.
Yep, and Williams certainly have been that over recent seasons. Yep, Gene Haas, the man who set his business out as IndyCar racing, I think it was. And then came into F1 in 2016. Probably hasn't had the success he would have thought, but I think Haas pinning their hopes on 2022 with the regulation changes.
And the new types of cars that they're going to be getting.
Yeah. Oh, Fatch just in the castle section there, just bouncing off the corners. Do have a yellow though at the top of the hill. It has gone green again though, so all good there. Let's see as he turns into 15 and he just clips the curb slightly. Oh, it was lovely, just a little exit there from 15, so close to the wall. It was almost reminiscent of the Wall of Champions at Montreal. The final as the exit of the chicane that's claimed many a victim. He just kissed the wall in a nice way. Let's see what he does as he comes across the line. Currently getting a nice slipstream though in front from an Alpine. Alpine dives into the pits, but Ofach goes third, 140.9. So the mediums have some good pace out there.
Yeah, the mediums are definitely showing pace.
Yeah, Nick BT though just went quicker, 140.7. So he's done 3 laps on those mediums, and that's the thing again. I think the mediums are gonna come into their own. They're gonna have a couple of warm up laps and get the heat cycles through them. Reese has got a 5-second grid penalty for a collision with Ofach, so we just missed that. Reese is currently 17th. He is on his out lap though. Nick BT on that run. There's not many people on a fast lap at the moment. A lot of people in the pits.
Voice might be on his fastest lap.
Let's jump on board.
He's going to the crystal line. And it's 1:41.
Yeah.
Goes 10th overall.
Yeah, good lap. He'll no doubt look to get a bit more of a run.
Yeah, especially in the mediums.
Yeah. So we've got 1, 2, we've got 5 drivers at the moment who have set a time on the mediums. So they are pinning their hopes on going long in the first part. Tom Brown in the Alpine, coming through his fastest lap. Oh, he's got a lot of traffic in front of him. That's the other thing about Baku. It's a bit like Monaco, you can hit traffic. And there are some parts like this where you can get out of the way, and we do, one of the things in MRC we do say is irrespective of practice, whilst there is ghosting at times, especially for people who are being lapped, always be track aware of who is around you, and get out of the way of people who are on a faster lap than you. He has got Haas in front of him. Does let him pass on an AlphaTauri. Good to see them getting out of the way. He was just, Tom Brown just fractionally down on his fastest first sector time by about 6/100ths of a second as he comes through into the castle section. Nice and clean there. Just shout out, Ethan, if we see anything on fast laps as we're going through, we'll stick with Tom Brown as he'll look to come to the end of sector 2. No corner names in Baku, just turns. So those who are familiar with MRC know that we love our corner names, but we just get to shout out turn 1, 2, 3 and so on and so forth. Tom Brown, the end of sector 2, he did just coming into 15, had a little bit of a bump along the way. He has backed out. He's obviously just lost a bit of time there. Got Monster in the Williams just coming on to the start of his fast lap. Reminder folks, for the championship races, Tier 1 tomorrow night, 8:45 UK GMT. Tier 2 starts 7 PM GMT. And on Wednesday evening, Tier 3 starts at 7:30 UK GMT as well.
Guys are getting ready to cross the line.
Yeah.
On the mediums.
The mediums are our Tier 2 championship leader. He did invalidate though. Oh, Oh no, he's just gone on to his fast lap. Tom Brown just saying the traffic put him off. And we said this around about a minute and a half ago, that traffic can be an issue in street circuits.
That's for sure.
Watching Guy as he comes through. Some impressive results so far this season in Tier 2. As he comes now through into the latter part of Sector 1. Now just coming as that short spurt down into turn 5s and 6, that chicane, as we see him here. Nicely done. Avoids the inside curb on turn 6. Again, those sausage curbs. Couple of yellows, as you'll see, folks, as people are slowing down. Not necessarily anything to do too concerned about. Oh, and Guy's round! Oh, round to the castle.
That just ruined his time.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. I managed to clip the inside curb as you come into the castle section on Thursday night, and it must have taken me about a 10-point turn to get round, just because the track is so tight at that point.
It's too close. Yeah.
Camel Ballboy just fractionally slower, just 8/100ths of a second slower as he went across the line. MTO goes second, 140.4. Oh, and one of the Red Bulls. Oh, I think that was G-Start. Don't know whether he was on a fast lap there, but he certainly, MTO was just coming off of his quick lap. Keep an eye as we go through there, folks. So at the moment, in the top 10, we have two medium runners, Ofach and the Fox River. The rest are on softs. Let's just watch one of our trial drivers just now, Ocean Tame in the McLaren. Coming to the end of a timed lap for him. Is he diving into the pits? He is indeed. Yeah, so 142.3, good lap so far. Geban in the Ferrari, two Ferraris, 16th and 17th, sorry. Guy's going again, but he's invalidated, so first couple of runs haven't worked out for him. The first flying lap, he clipped the curb as he was coming through the castle complex of 8, 9 and 10, and in this second run he has invalidated early in the lap as well. Stoop, our Tier 3 co-commentator. Oh, and he's just run deep in at turn 3. We've said it again. I think we mentioned it earlier. You were saying when we were talking about the hard compound tyres, just not got the grip, and if you come in too quick, slam on the brakes, the car doesn't want to stop. I'll keep an eye on him. 3 minutes to go, folks. If they are sitting in the pits, they will likely need to depart the pits now if they want to get round in time for at least 2 opportunities to run. We've got a Ferrari round. It is Geban just went round at the around about turn 13, 14. Still a lot of them in the pits though, Ethan. Nobody. I would expect to see a flurry soon. And again, the free practice 3 is what we've started doing in MRC. The running joke is the drink of choice this evening is the Iron Brew, as always. If AG Bar want to come and sponsor MRC and give us all some nice Iron Brew, we will happily enter discussions. We'll see what the drink of choice is for tomorrow. Don't get much Iron Brew over in the States, although to be fair, when I did go, I found some Iron Brew in New York. I did find some in Chicago, and if you've never heard of Iron Brew, Ethan, Google it. It's an interesting drink.
I'll have to Google it.
Yes.
I've never heard of it.
Iron Brew, IRNBRU. It's an interesting Scottish drink. I'd easily say it's the national drink of Scotland. Whiskey would probably claim it to be, but we'll just move on from that just now. Fisher's in the Mercedes, just watching him at the moment, and everybody's now coming out of the pits, folks. On the route lap, we have pretty much only 3 runners remaining in the pits: the Fox River, Era Voice, and Monster Gaza. The rest are either on out laps or flying laps. So just watching Fisher's here on his fast lap on the soft compound tires, coming to the end of sector 1, 4.5 tenths up at the moment. So good first sector round. Purple.
He's on a fast lap with on mediums. He was 3 tenths up.
Great. Let's we'll just jump on to him as we're seeing what's that about, and he's just 4 tenths of a second quicker. So really good lap from him. So certainly putting him in good place for the race. Oh, Fishers has managed to invalidate the lap between us seeing him at the end of sector 1 and the top of the castle.
I think because of the yellow flags, and Fetch's time is ruined.
That's not good. Let's keep an eye. Tom Brown, 9 tenths of a second quicker. Oh, sorry, no, slower in his first sector. Let's see anybody else on a quick run at the moment. Monster's just set a quick lap. Genie is 2 tenths of a second up at the end of the first sector. We'll jump on board with him in the Alpine. A few drivers now retiring from the session. They're considering their times done. In the front of Gene at the moment, we've got Ocean Tatum in the McLaren. He was ghosting for part of it, coming through the castle section now. Genie, nice car, nicely rotating. And as he'll now come down into the infamous turn 15, there's a yellow. Tom Brown doing the right thing, getting out of the way. He brakes around about 100 metres, does Genie. Nicely turned in, nice rotation there. Coming to the end of sector 2, and he is 6 tenths of a second up. So that at that moment would certainly bumping up to around about 5th or 6th on the grid. Qualifying is over, folks. The flag has fallen. There are 2 Hasses at the top of the timesheets. But as Genie now comes, getting a bit slipstream from that McLaren there, is he going to improve his time?
From Monster right now, 8-11.
We will jump on board. So Genie goes 4th at the moment. Let's jump to Monster at the moment. Good shout. Oh, has he invalidated his lap as well, potentially?
Oh yeah, he did.
The unlucky part, G-Star though in the Red Bull just behind him. He'll be looking to try and get a bit of a slipstream there. As G-Star will come across the line, looking to improve on his 141.6, and he does 140.4. So I'll say one thing: look at that time between MTO and G-Star, 1/100th of a second, 0.01 of a second, folks.
That is crazy.
That is where we are. Camel Ball Boy is finished. MTO is currently. Is he quicker? Let's just we're on board with him. Let's just jump to the broadcast cameras. Fishers goes second, 140.126, 6 thousandths of a second off pole position, but is MTO going to take it? Yes, he does! 139.9.
Wow.
Superb lap. Camel Ball Boy had it. MTO was second. He was knocked down for a few seconds until he said, nope, I'm taking it. And it is a Haas front row as it stands.
It's a front row locked out for Haas.
It is. It's the American influence, Ethan. You've brought to Baku this evening. This is it. The stars and stripes are at the front of the grid, folks. And I think everyone has finished their laps. Let's just check on Guy. I think he has 141.7. I think he is finished. His Monster coming to the end of his lap. I think he was around about 3 tenths down at the end of sector 2. So we come now down that straight. Turns 19, that slight kink of turn 20. And is he pitting? We wait to see. I think he is. Yes, he does dive into the pits. So there we have it, folks. Qualifying for free practice 3 is a Haas 1-2 MTO 139.9, splits back to about a 10.5 to Camel Ball Boy in second. Fishers and G-Star will start the race on the second row, 3 and 4. O'Fatch and Reese, one of our trial drivers tonight, did well in 6th place. Genie and Grimo 7th and 8th, and Nick BT and Stringy B in 9th and 10th. So they will all start the top 10 in the tyres that they qualified on, so O'Fatch will be the only one on the mediums. And then we have Tom Brown 11th, Fox River in 12th, Monster 13, Air Voice 14, Guy, Stub, Ocean Tame, Giban, Il Pichulin and Monster Gaza. Monster Gaza not setting a time. Hopefully that's just a connection issue as we go through it. The time remaining on the clock at the top has said 1 second, so we will get qualifying results up shortly, folks. Really good mixture of times so there, Ethan. Good couple of laps from the Haas boys, and really close.
Really good.
Yeah,
really good one for MTO.
Yeah, good closeness, and the thing is, if you're Fishers and you're 6/1000ths of a second behind Camel Ballboy, you're almost thinking, where did that 6/1000ths of a second get lost? And it almost becomes frustrating. And then between G-Star in 4th and O'Fatch in 5th, you're talking near enough just about 16/1000ths of a second, so really close times. Grimo in 8th and Nick BT 7/1000ths of a second, so some great close times here, folks. Just going to keep an eye on the Discord chat just to see if it is the glitch that causes us chaos as usual. But here we are back. It has caught us back up again, which is always good. And there we have it. Reese will get a 5 place penalty for a collision during qualifying, so that will bump him down to 11th. He will have to start on those soft compound tires, so that does promote Gene Genie to 6th, Grimwell up to 7th, Nick BT up to 8th, Stringy B up to 9th, and Tom Brown into 10th. But crucially, Tom Brown will get the choice of tyres, and he will start in the top 10. Il Pachulin got a 5 place grid penalty as well, but will start from the back of the grid, 20th place. As we now come to the race part of the Grand Prix, folks. It's a short run down into turn 1, and we will see it as we go through. What we'll do is we'll get the start of actually let's just because I always say that we'll get the start of the formation lap, and then it turns out not to be a formation lap, so we'll just wait and see if there is. Famous last words. For those that watched the free practice 3 at Monaco last week, when I was just about to go into formation lap mode, Ethan, and then all of a sudden it was 5 red lights and we were underway at that point.
No formation lap.
No formation lap. Well, there could well be a formation lap. Who knows? They like to keep us on our toes. I will warn everybody, and especially Ethan, tonight about the banshee that is me when the race gets underway. A little bit excited at times. And we could certainly have excitement here, folks. Lots of capabilities throughout the race. And we do have a formation lap, which, for the paying our respects to Sir Frank Williams, we've mentioned a couple of things throughout tonight, and we will go through into the championship races, then tier 1s, 2 and 3. We will, as a mark of respect though, we will let the cars go through their formation lap. Oh, we got one of the Haas's at the back there. That was Camel Ballboy. He's had a little bit of a moment. But through the races, certainly tier 2 tomorrow, and I believe tier 1 and tier 3, we will have a mark of respect and silence through the formation laps for Frank Williams. Oh, and Camel Ballboy, yeah! Don't know whether he's... he would have obviously got a lot of heat through the rear tyres, so it is going to leave him at the back of the grid for the formation lap. He will retake his front row start, but those tyres could be not in great condition, shall we say.
Because he's already he's starting on the same ones he used in qualifying.
He is, indeed. It is a sunny race, folks. It was sunny for free practice. The races, however, could well be different. We always say on MRC, stay tuned to the very end, because there is always action. There's the pit stop strategy, soft starters, going on to the medium around about laps 4 to 7, or onto the hard compounds, maybe laps 9 to 10. Fishers disqualified, no Fatch have been disqualified, so if they had a little coming together, they will form up on the grid, so they just don't get to finish there. formation lap. Drivers are all now coming through. It's a few of them just in the top of the castle section. But we are getting ready for 13 laps of Baku, folks. Race and Ocean Team also seem to have come together at some point. As I said, folks, let's keep it clean. To all those watching, we hope you are enjoying your evening with us as we come to the lining up of the grid. MTO is there, waiting patiently. Camel Ball Boy, who will join him on the front row, is just coming through just now, and the Ferrari of Vilpicciolin is just coming up to the grid. As we'll see, we will get to our moment of our 5 red lights. Short run down into turn 1. Let's keep it clean, folks. No heroics into turn 1. We have a green track. And we now have the build-up, waiting for the lights. And here we go, folks. It's 2, it's 3, it's 4, it's 5 red lights, and in Azerbaijan we are underway, and a great start from MTO there. Camel Ball Boy just slipping back slightly, but one of the Red Bulls coming through. But Camel Ball Boy, he's been hit by one of the Red Bulls into turn 1, and it's a disaster for the 2 Haas drivers who went from 1st and 2nd on the grid down to 8th and down to last place. It was one of the Red Bulls, it might have been G-Star, as he came down to one of the McLarens has gone Ocean Team as well, coming out of turn 2. But G-Star is in the lead at the moment, although he might be under a little bit of investigation there for a little tap on the back of the Haas at the front there. But drama into the start of the race with a Red Bull out front. I tell you one thing, we promised, Ethan, excitement at the start, and we've got
Tom
it.
Brown just spun around.
Oh, and Tom's going to go down. He was inherited up to 10th place. So at the moment, it's G-Star and Nick BT out front with iFishers. Genie up to 4th place. And Ofatch in 5th, but it's the 2 Hasses. Camel Ball Boy has come back and he's running 7th at the moment. But from a front row start, I think certainly MTO will be furious. He has retired also from the session. He will be furious though. It seemed like, and it's a great move by iFishers into 15. He did he hit the wall? He didn't there, but Nick BT is going to be all over the back of the Mercedes. Well, this has given G-Star though a great chance to get out in front. 1.4 seconds clear. Let's just monitor this. Let's jump on board with iFishers. Let's look back from the Mercedes. Look how quick Nick BT is. He's obviously had a moment because he's ghosted. He's losing places hand over fist here, folks. Genie is through. Nick BT is through. Oh, Patch in the Williams is going to try and go up the inside, is he? Yes, he does. Here he goes. On those medium shot Williams and there, but obviously at some point we've got Genie ghosting as well, but at some point, Ethan, the Mercedes of iFishers there had a bit of a moment.
Might I say, the Fox River has jumped up to 9 positions since the start. Great
opening lap for the Fox River in the Aston Martin. iFishers 3rd place at the moment. Oh, Fatch there hitting the wall at turn 3. Obviously no damage, folks. And Genie's run really deep into turn 4 there. There is some ghosting, folks, but let's just remember and keep it clean. Genie slipping down the pace. Wonder whether there's a little bit of contact there. But this is allowing G-Star to build up a nice 2-second lead at the moment. Nick BT in the Alpha Tauri is also getting a little bit of a run through as we're on board with him as he comes through the castle section. Everyone so far has kept it clean through the castle section. We do have... Oh, we got Stringy B who's round at the top of the castle section. Oh, again. Spins the car into oncoming traffic. Just beware of other drivers, folks. Vilpicciolin is in the back, and Stringy B also. This is the thing. He's obviously he's spun around. He's really heated up those soft compound tyres. He's going to have to pit and put on a set of mediums or hard compounds if he wants to get to the end of this race. I've got Monster ghosting in the Williams. And iFishers is pitted. So he is coming in. So he has decided, he's retired from the session as well. It's obviously either it's a connection issue or something, but he is certainly falling down the pack. He has gone from the race. Well, we promised you drama, folks, and we've had an action-packed couple of laps. Just watching now, Era Voice and the Fox River. The Fox River is going to go up the inside as we go. Oh, and he's been hit by one of the Red Bulls. Oh, was that Grimmel? Oh, did he just... Oh, he might have just misjudged his braking time. Fox River does go up into 5th place indeed, but just a little bit of impatience here, folks. Either that or different fuel loads catching drivers out, but just needs to calm it down slightly, do the drivers. Don't want to eat all the sweeties in the opening laps. And Reese, one of our trial drivers, has also left the session. Looks like a connectivity issue there. So his car will go on to AI mode, which, as we know, is not the quickest. So it's likely that he will be caught. Let's have a look. I think you were mentioning, Ethan, about the position change. So the Fox River up 14 positions, Reese up 11 positions, so great opening laps from them. The Fox River is about to make up another position though, because Reese's car is in AI mode. Nick BT up 6 places and Aerovox up 6 places as well. The big losers so far from the opening points is Campbell Ballboy down 8 places, Stringy B down 8, and Tom Brown and Jean Genie down 6.
And also Monster and the William down 4.
Yeah, down to 15th from 11th. El Pachulin has also left the session, so maybe some connectivity challenges here tonight, folks. Remember, this is free practice 3 for the championship race.
GNG is pitted as well.
They have indeed. An MTO posting in the Discord. We don't want to see a repeat of the start of the race in the championship races, folks. Few taps in the opening few laps. Clearly everyone's excited to be racing around Baku, the city of fire, but we don't want fireworks in the opening laps in terms of people being tapped, shall we say. The field's starting to get a little bit spread out as well, so let's just have a look at the gaps. Closest battle on track is this one we've got between Guy and the Alfa Romeo and the Fox River and the Aston Martin, 0.6 of a second gap. Era Voice though now 5.3 seconds behind O'Fatch in 4th. I Fisher's left the session. We did see he went into the pits and retired. But let's just jump on board with Guy at the moment. And the Alfa Romeo chasing down the Aston Martin in front. Remember, folks, DRS is activated. DRS comes online at the end of lap 2, and if there is a safety car, it will be 2 laps after the safety car has gone in. If it is a virtual safety car, DRS becomes active as soon as the virtual safety car is over. And here we see Guy beginning to close up, but the Fox River will have DRS as well, and Era Voice doing well to stay in front there. Oh, Guy runs that a little bit deep into turn 1 there. Grimmo in the pits as well.
Most of mediums.
So he's looking to go to the end of the race. I think we did see on the pit stop strategy, soft to mediums are in about laps 4 to 7, so that would tie in quite nicely with that. But it's when you look at it and say that actually, Stringy B gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That will certainly go against him towards the end of the race or in his pit stop. Reese has left the session, so his Mercedes, his trial session, possibly been plagued by connectivity issues. Stringy B's also left the session, so I wonder whether perhaps he has left. He was in the pit, so possibly similar to I Fisher's, has retired the car.
He's actually still on the track. He just pitted.
So it's maybe connectivity issues there, folks. We do see them sometimes. But at the moment, closest battle.
He have a penalty, a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, for speeding in the pit lane. Era Voice is going to be trying to utilise, so let's just jump on board with the Alpha Tauri. as we look back from him as they come through the tight and twisty part of the long straight, and then we see the Fox River, so we're looking back from the AlphaTauri wing. Fox River there. Fatch is the quickest man on track. G-Star is pitted, our race leader is in the pit lane. He will jump onto those medium compound tyres. And the Fox River G-Star coming out of the pits there as we see. Nice medium set of tyres. Here's Morgan as he comes now into turn 1. And he will get out in front of the Red Bull. And G-Star is coming out. Will he get out in front of Gibbon in the Ferrari? Doesn't. Gibbon is going to get out in front of him. So now it is going to be a case of seeing who is going to pit next.
Might I say, Grimo in the Red Bull just passed Tom Brown using DRS in a straight.
Good pass there. Let's jump to that battle. Well seen there. There we go. Grimo in the Red Bull and Tom Brown. Grimo's. Oh, sorry, Ethan. Go ahead.
Tom Brown almost spun his back just stepped out.
He's on Grimo. Yeah, Grimo's just come out of the pits. He's on just brand new medium compound tyres. So the top 6 at the moment, folks, all have not pitted. G-Star is the first of those who have pitted to go into those medium compound tyres, and then Gibbon. So G-Star has got past Gibbon, which is good for him. Reese has rejoined, good to see. So obviously some connectivity challenges there. Look at the battle here though between Era Voice, Fox River and Guy. We were saying Era Voice, I mean he must have been utilising all of his ERS, and he is again, look, 30 odd %. But I'll tell you one thing, Fox River is much closer this time than he has been. Guy's also going to have DRS. Oh, is he going to stay at it? Do you know what, he might just have enough. I don't think the Fox River is close enough on his exit out of turn 16, and he doesn't. Era Voice does keep them behind, but we have, that's El Pachulin who's just come out. They will get lapped. Well, Ghost, but they will get lapped. Again, the battle's still there. Era Voice picks up a bit of, would pick up a bit of DRS, runs a little bit deep there. Keep an eye on G-Star's time, so we've got the usual glitch of the telemetry intervals going, so we will keep an eye on the track map for any close battles there. Tom Brown and Monster Gaza in the pits, so Tom Brown and Monster Gaza going on to the soft compound tyres. Reese is retired from the session, unfortunately. Obviously those connectivity challenges too much to overcome. It's 2 AlphaTauris, second and third. Fatch out in front in that Williams. Fox River 8 utilising his ERS, and Guy the same. They're all third, fourth and fifth, all relatively close on ERS. Anything down the field, Ethan, that you're seeing as we just watch this battle?
Well, I know Monster just passed the 2 people that were in the pits. 2 gained 2 positions.
There
so
we
he's
go.
now up to P14.
Right. Just keep an eye on the Fox River. The Fox River not really getting the DRS now. Will be activated, and Guy Fox River's going to come into the pits there, folks. He does indeed. Guy in the Alfa Romeo will now be hunting down Era Voice here in the AlphaTauri, too far behind to make a move, but he will be lining up the AlphaTauri for the rundown from turn 2 into 3, and they all got just so much more grip. DRS fully open on the Alfa Romeo. Era Voice utilising his ERS. He's just got not enough. And there we go, Guy Artier. Oh, is he going?
Also has a 3-second penalty for corner cutting.
Oh, track limits coming through here. I'll tell you one thing, we're just watching this battle between Era Voice and Guy. Guy is he sort of past Era Voice coming down into 3, almost just looked like Era Voice kind of tapped the back of the Alfa Romeo, and then as we were coming through into turn 4 and then 5 side by side. But there's no opportunity for Guy to get past as they come into the castle section. And we're on board now with Guy. Closest battle on track at the moment. To be fair though, Stub and Fatch are close together. Fatch on those brand new soft compound tyres. I'll tell you one thing, crucially, that we've missed is Fatch has come out in front of G-Star. So G-Star obviously pitted, and O'Fatch inherited the race lead at that point and has come out in front of him. He's almost pushing Morgan along here in the Aston Martin. Tell you what, G-Star wants to get up there, and here's O'Fatch going round. Oh, it's a bold move, and he does indeed. He almost had to trust Morgan there. Tell you one thing though, Morgan will get the DRS because the activation line has just been passed, and Morgan, unless he pits, is going to get DRS. I think he is pitting. Yes, he does. So O'Fatch took a bit of a gamble there. Air Voice not pitted yet. Out in front, O'Fatch and G-Star. Nick BT just coming out now, and he will come back in fourth. Let's have a look at who has stopped. So everybody has stopped, bar from Gibbon, who we're looking at just now, and Air Voice. Pit stop loss around about here will be around about 20-22 seconds. So when Air Voice does pit, he will likely drop down into the bottom half of the top 10, possibly down into 11th place.
We might have a battle going on between Camo and Genie in 8th and 9th right now.
Well, let's jump on board with that. So let's look at Genie. You're right, 7/10 of a second, the gap between those two. Coming down into the castle section. Genie, after kind of coming back through the field after a tap into turn 4 in the early stages of the race. Gibbon just in front of this battle as well. Keep an eye for our race leader and see if when he comes into the pits. There will be a DRS train shortly. So we've got the two Ferraris, although one is getting lapped. As we look,
the fastest lap with a 141.8.
Yeah, and Air Voice has pitted in the pit, but you're right, 141.8 on those soft compound tyres. Camel Ballboy's about to take Gibbon. He does, but Gibbon pits, and Genie also goes through. He was closer to Camel Ballboy actually throughout the earlier part of the lap, and there's Air Voice. I said he might not come out until about 11th, but he's certainly done well, and he's always going to be awfully tiny as they come out of turn 2. Oh, a little bit of fisticuffs, and Genie has prime seat viewing for this one, folks. Camel Ballboy on the DRS, is he going to go up the inside as we see it here? Yes, he does. Is Genie going to try and follow him around? Is he going to stay a little bit more defensive there, or not defensive, but certainly keep an eye on things? He does indeed. Camel Ballboy though, good recovery drive, especially with the two Hasses kind of being involved in first corner scrapes. But we will see as they come through the castle section. Nick BT closing in on G-Star though as well. We'll keep an eye on that battle. Tom Brown passing Ocean Tame, coming down the start-finish straight. Just now looking at Nick BT and G-Star. G-Star in the Red Bull, no match for the new soft tyres on that AlphaTauri. He's going to be a bit of a sitting duck. Not so much as a bull, but a duck. Red Bull does give you wings, yes, but not the wings that he wants. Nick BT does indeed go past the sister Titan. So now come down into turn 1, but G-Star is not going to attempt to pull that one back. Camel Ballboy, Air Voice and Genie. Air Voice.
Guy with the fastest lap now.
Yeah, 141. Good lap from him. Air Voice is now past Camel Ballboy, and Genie closes up. Not a lot.
I would say Guy is catching up to the Fox River right now in 5th and 4th.
Yes, indeed. Great recovery drive from him, especially when we look at position changes up 8 places, but the Fox River up 15 so far. Driver of the day, certainly on positions change.
And Grimmel just spawned in sector 1.
Oh, he's going to be kicking himself. Indeed, there he is. Just seen him coming out of turn 1. Not a lot of track limit penalties. You mentioned earlier Grimmel getting the 3 seconds. I think Stringy B's penalty is 5 seconds speed in the pit lane. So at the moment, only one driver with a track limits penalty, and that is certainly going to be interesting for the championship races. Era Voice beginning to drive away from Camel Ballboy 1.5. Oh, commentators curse, Ethan. Commentators curse. Morgan's just got a 3 second penalty.
That's another track limit one.
Yeah, we need to stop jinxing the drivers. We'll never talk about track limits ever again. We'll be fine. Morgan will be cursing us right now. Thatch, quickest man, 140.8. He is smashing the ball out the park.
Yes, he is.
Let's jump back to Grimmo and Tom Brown. The closest battle with Tom Brown was only about 0.3 of a second behind Grimmo there, but it's dropped to 1.1. And the guy has passed the Fox River into turn 1. It was done before turn 1. The guy 8 seconds behind G-Star with 1 lap to go. Even for our Tier 2 Championship leader, that's going to be a stretch too far. But let's keep an eye on it, folks. 13 laps goes by in a flash.
Genie is getting ready to catch up to Camo.
It is indeed. We're just on there now, coming into turn 3. He's going to need a really good exit out of kind of turn 16 to really be with them to get that DRS activation. Stood behind 1.7, he's probably not going to get too close there. Tom Brown is past Grimmo now, so we'll keep an eye on that. G-Star is a second behind Nick BT. O'Fatch is still out in front, folks. We haven't lost sight of the leaders. We're just watching the battles through the field. Let's just jump down the field. Actually, Ocean Tame. I don't know whether Grimmo is. Oh, ghosted Ocean Tame. Kind of driving through him, but he is. Grimmo is ghosted, so possibly some connectivity issues there, or he has went to AI. But let's jump back because it's coming through, coming onto the pit straight. Genie 9/10 behind Camel Ballboy. I think he's too far behind. He's using all of his ERS, but he's going to be too far behind, I think, for DRS. He does get DRS, but he's too far behind to make that move.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fox River also not making that move on Guy. So it is as you were, folks, coming into the final lap. Lap 13 out of 13 in pre-practice 3.
Monsters down in 15th is catching up to the McLaren.
Indeed, Monster Gaza, they come through the castle section. Looks like both of them have ghosted. Certainly the McLaren hasn't anymore, but the Williams certainly does. Tom Brown in 11th there. Genie half a second behind. The Fox River, I'll say one thing. Oh, we've got a spinner. The Fox River is spun coming out of turn 7, and he is going to be losing a handful of places. Reverses slightly, but trying to get turned round there, folks, is going to be almost impossible, and he does leave the session. But unfortunate for him, he was obviously just trying. Did Guy and him have a coming together? Because Guy is only now 0.4 of a second in front of Camel Ballboy, and GG almost pushing him along there. Almost saying, get out of my way. Let's now have a look back from Guy. O'Fatch is going to come across the line and does indeed win. Superb race win for him. Nick BT in the AlphaTauri is going to come second. G-Star's going to come third, and Era Voice is going to come fourth. But we are going to watch this battle. GG is past Camel Ballboy. Something's happened to the Haas.
He spun.
Oh, he spun it out right at the end of the race, folks. Guy comes across the line in 5th place. Gini's going to get 2nd. Stoop is going to get 7th. And Camel Ballboy is 8th. Gibbon's going to take 9th, and the Fox River, who has left the session and his car is ghosting, is going to come through in 10th place. Camel Ballboy, everything's happened for him this race, unfortunately. From the start right through to the finish. Is the Fox River going to get Gibbon on the final stretch? He says, no, he doesn't. 0.8 of a second. That is the gaps, folks, and that is the great thing about Baku. As you're going to passing right up until the end. Tom Brown is going to come across the line in 11th in the Alpine. Ocean Tame, the opening race, comes through in 12th. That was an interesting race, right from the off.
Yeah, I gotta agree. That was an interesting race.
You mentioned that no one wanted to do the Hamilton outbreak yourself into turn one, but unfortunately we had a few taps, shall we say, where the Haas, the pole sitter, went off. So what was a 1-2 on the grid for Haas has not been a great finish for them. But there is Ofatch, who's come through to win the free practice 3 with the AlphaTauri in second and G-Star in third place. So as I said, folks, Tier 2 starts at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening UK time, and Tier 1 is 8:45, and then Tier 3 on Wednesdays. Tonight, Ofatch has the victory with Nick BT in second, G-Star third, Aerovoice fourth, Guy 5th, 6th for Gene Genie, 7th for Stub, 8th for Camel Ball Boy, Giban is 9th, and the Fox River is 10th. Not many time penalties, folks, there. Grimmel 13th is the lap down, but in 11th was Tom Brown, Ocean Tame in 12th. And as we said, Grimmel in 13th, Monster Gaza in 14th, 15th is Monster, Stringy B 16th, Ilpachulin in 17th, Reese, Fishers, and MTO not finishing. What a race it has been. Folks, do obviously join us for the championship races tomorrow. Ethan, thank you very much for tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Introductory trials co-commentator here, folks, and I know you'll all give Ethan a warm welcome through the Discord and all of our trial drivers who have joined us all tonight. We will be back, as I said, in 24 hours' time for round 6 of the championship. But both from myself and Ethan this evening, thank you very much, and we will join you tomorrow.